really try to put your mind to, you can do. So the example that I give in prisons that I love is, that seems to work really well, is, okay, let's just imagine that 5 years from now, you want to have your own nightclub, your own club. And I say, picture yourself. Just let it go. Let it almost be like the fantasy. Let it go. Picture yourself wearing a fur coat, a fedora, rings on every finger, a bevy of women at the bar hanging all around you, everyone coming in to shake your hand and thank you for letting them come into your club. Well, make it real. But then let's stop. What is it that are some of the obstacles and limitations that you will have to overcome if you really want to do that? So let's be honest now. Well, you might need more money. You might need more training. You might need more skills. And so the idea is, let's design your own personal pathway to success where you really decide what you want to do. And that means something that would make you fulfilled, happy, that you would love doing. So that one day you could say, I'm not working, I'm just doing what I want to do, and I happen to get paid for it. So be thinking like that, and then break it down into, what is it that I need to do to get there? And here's the secret that I'm going to tell you. When you decide what you want to do, you want to become natural at that. You don't want it to be forced. You want to grow into that. You want to mature into that. You want to evolve into that. So what I'm saying is, the very best thing you could do with your life is to grow naturally into what it is you want to be, so that it's you. That's who you are. You become the person you want to be. It's not a put on. It's not an effort. It's a natural evolution, a natural growth. And some of the things that you may need to do to become the person that you want to be is, you may need more education. It could be schooling in college, university. Get your high school degree if you don't have it. It could be vocational school. It could be just self-guided reading. It could be just reading a lot of articles, taking a lot of seminars and workshops and things. It might be that you need more experience in what you want to do. And it might be the best way to do that would be to go work for somebody that's already done it. And then that's when I get into the concept of become the world's greatest employee where you are. And I'm sharing all this with Dan. Dan, thanks for the time that you spent with me letting me talk to you about this. But as I continued with Dan in this conversation, what I got into was, if you really want to do something and you don't have much experience, go to work for someone else that's doing it. But the concept that I gave him, that I give everyone, of become the world's greatest employee is this. Instead of just having a job where you go to work and get paid to punch the clock or be there on a salary, go there as an entrepreneur in training. Go there as a future owner of your own business in training, and observe everything that takes place. Learn everything. If you're a waiter in a restaurant, don't just try to get big tips and give good service. Always do that. But when you're in the kitchen, study how the cooks rotate the inventory. Understand things. Learn how the cash register works. The point is, learn while you're at. Learn on someone else's nickel. But the main reason that you might want to become the world's greatest employee, if you intend to go into this type of business yourself and have your own employees, you will not know how to manage those employees if you haven't been a great employee yourself. You won't know what to expect. So this is kind of conversation that I was giving Dan, and it went further. And so the bottom line is, when I got to the part about, if you do this and you're working somewhere with this attitude of an owner mentality, not as an employee mentality, then you're really going to excel. You're going to be offered promotions, you're going to be offered pay raises, more responsibility, things like that, because you're going to be a great employee, and they're not going to want to lose you. And at one point in time, this is the best part that I like to share with returning citizens in prisons. If you do this, you will rebuild your credit and have your savings, because you're going to need working capital and savings when you go into your own business. When you do that, though, you will be given a choice. You would have created a choice for yourself that you might not have ever had, of two positive things. And then I do the song by the Clash. Should I stay or should I go? Bum, 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 bum. What that means is, if your employer that you're working so good for there really appreciates you, he's going to want to keep you. But have you gotten enough skills? Do you have your ideas together enough? Do you have your plan? ready to go launch your own business? Are you willing to take the plunge? So now you actually have two choices, and you can analyze. Are there good benefits here if I stay? Is there more advancement? Where will I be in 5 years and 10 years if I stay here? Or do I want to go start my own business now? Do I have everything that I need? And then we get into all the other things that Right Thinking Foundation, Right Thinking with Steve Copeland, myself, is trying to help you with the other shows on how to start your own small business. And Jessica Starks is my guest these days on that topic. And it all weaves together, but it doesn't weave together any better than Napoleon Hill. And so what I want to read you is one last one here. This is the one that came out yesterday. The greatest cure known is work. Emotions are sometimes strange, volatile, and unpredictable. They do not always respond to logic and reason. They do, however, respond to action. If you have occasional feelings of loneliness, discouragement, or discontent, the best way to kill such negative emotions is to work them to death. Almost nothing is as bad as it first seems, and there's nothing like a hard day's work to put everything in proper perspective. When you begin to feel negative emotions, dwelling on your misfortunes only makes you feel worse. Do your best to put them out of your mind and think about more positive, constructive things. Physical labor can help. Choose a task that doesn't require a great deal of concentration and then focus on accomplishing the task at hand. Well, I wanted to read that extra one there because that's just one more of the Napoleon Hill thoughts for the day that got me to where I thought that's what the show was going to be. But let me tell you now what the show really is going to be today. Today's show is the 5 essential principles of Think and Grow Rich, a passionate recommendation. Tune in and hear Steve talk about the Napoleon Hill Foundation's newest, most read book, The 5 Essential Principles of Think and Grow Rich, the practical steps to transforming your desires into riches by Napoleon Hill. Steve is honored to present profound and essential truths about the power of your mind that Napoleon Hill presented over 80 years ago in his masterpiece, Think and Grow Rich. This show will get you thinking and move you into positive steps to a better life. You know, I started getting started on the show today, expressing my thoughts on where I was trying to do a real show, another show that would help people a lot. And then when I came back from teaching karate yesterday afternoon, there was a package in the mail, and it was a copy of this book that I'm going to review today, The 5 Essential Principles of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Well, what a wonderful thing for me. I started telling you a story about 5 minutes ago, where in the morning before I went to my clients, I was telling Donna about how I was putting my thoughts together for the show I was going to do, and I told her that I was even going to talk about the pathway to success. Well, when I opened up this box with the book that Don sent me, it says, the back of the book, the starting point of all achievement is desire. That's a quote by Napoleon Hill. And then it says, the path to success is easy to find. What is holding you back from achieving the success and wealth you've been working for? The answer likely lies in your own thoughts and mental patterns. It's time to move beyond the psychological barriers that prevent you from reaching your full potential. Based on one of the best-selling personal development books of all time, The 5 Essential Principles of Think and Grow Rich gives you the tools to turn your vision into reality. Using the 5 proven principles of this life-changing program, you'll become the master of your dreams through 1. Desire, the starting point of all achievement. 2. Imagination, the workshop of the mind. 3. Persistence, the sustained effort necessary to produce success. 4. The power of the mastermind, the driving force. 5. Outwitting the 6 ghosts of fear. The Napoleon Hill Foundation has created this essential guide, which includes never-before-released training techniques to further expand your knowledge and understanding of how to break free of all barriers and achieve your goals. No matter your goals in life, the principles of Napoleon Hill will help you achieve them. The sky is the limit, and it all begins with how you think. Well, it's pretty amazing to me that what I've done with my life is coming so full circle, so around now, that I've got close friends out there that send me books and thank me for supporting them. Well, I called Don Green this morning after I read the book. I started last night and I finished it this morning. It's a really nice book to read. It's one of the most right now. It's being featured in the airport bookstores. It's a beautiful book to give a gift. It's glossy print. It's big print. Glossy pages, rather. It's got beautiful photographs. And like I told you, I've got about 10 or 12, 14 Napoleon Hill books right here in front of me. That's not all that I've read in my life. And I believe, and I told Don Green this morning when I called him to thank him right after I finished it, that this book is, in my mind, probably the greatest consolidation of all the Napoleon Hill thinking in one easy-to-read place I've ever seen. It is absolutely fantastic. If you've never read Napoleon Hill before, Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil are the two that I recommend first off. But this book here would get you started. And what I'd like to do today is, it's going to make my life easy. I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes or so just reading you some excerpts out of this book so that you'll know more about it. And, like I said, it's at airport bookstores right now. And if you got on an airplane for 2 hours or so and you had this book, you would get off of that plane just feeling like you are like going to do something really with your life. It would just clean out the cobwebs in your head, get you focused, and make you know that nothing's impossible. And let me say this before I go any further. I've said it numerous times. Whenever I go into prisons, I say that the three most important books of my life are, number one, the Bible, number two, Think and Grow Rich, and number three, Outwitting the Devil. So now I want to start just sharing some of this book with you, and it's my hope that you are encouraged, stimulated to maybe go get a copy of this and read it for yourself. It is absolutely incredible. And Don, what a confirmation, a validation for me that this book came in the mail to me yesterday. Thank you for sending it to me. Well, look, the table of contents is really pretty straightforward here. It's got a preface in it for it. I'll read the preface in a moment. But chapter 1, actually, I've already read the back of it. It says chapter 1 is desire, chapter 2 is imagination, chapter 3 is persistence, chapter 4 is power of the mastermind, and chapter 5 is how to outwit the 6 ghosts of fear. Let me read the preface to you, though. You'll like this. In 1937, journalist Napoleon Hill released the first Think and Grow Rich, a life-changing work based on his and Andrew Carnegie's belief that a fortune is within reach for all. To that end, Hill interviewed more than 500 self-made millionaires with the goal of unlocking the formula to their success. The trustees of the Napoleon Hill Foundation are pleased to present this special edition of excerpts from Napoleon Hill's classic book, Think and Grow Rich. For this special edition, we elected to focus on the first word in the title, think. The book you're about to read emphasizes the many fascinating powers of the mind, its ability to desire and commit to a goal, to imagine the means to achieve the goal, to persist with determination to attain the goal, and to gain the support of the minds of others to achieve the goal. For over 25 years, Hill was trusted to document and collaborate with the wealthiest and most successful businessmen of his time, resulting in Think and Grow Rich. This edition and all editions of Think and Grow Rich convey the experience of these men who began from scratch with nothing to give in return for riches except thoughts, ideas, and organized plans. Here you have the essence of the philosophy of money-making and other types of personal achievement, just as it was organized from the actual achievements of the most successful men of America during our formative economic years. It describes what to do and also how to do it. For this special edition of Think and Grow Rich, the Napoleon Hill Foundation is focused on 4 important success principles: desire, imagination, persistence, and the mastermind, as well as addressing the 6 ghosts of fear in the concluding chapter of the book. The emphasis is on how the power of the mind can help you think and grow rich. Napoleon Hill wrote that desire is the starting point of all achievement, and not just desire, but a burning desire. Desire leads to the development of one's major, definite purpose, without which success and happiness can never be attained. As a young reporter, Napoleon witnessed firsthand the Wright brothers' inaugural flight, surely the triumphal product of burning desire. He knew Thomas Edison, whose desire for the advancement of science and society was unmatched in his day and may still be unmatched today. Napoleon's desire to help his son, born without the means of hearing, produced a near miracle when after years of help from Napoleon, his son began to hear, to the shock of his doctors. All these examples of a burning desire are set forth in this book. Napoleon said that imagination is the